Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back. Loki is back, season number 2, episode
Mhm.
number 1, Ouroboros. IMDb gave this a 8.6, 1,500 reviews,
Mhm.
8.6. What do you think about that review?
I think it was good. I
Yeah,
think that's not bad. That's not a good bad spot for it because you're still trying to figure out what's going on.
right.
Who the antagonist is and why, and all this other stuff. So, because we know, like, okay, first of all, we got to talk about did old boy beat the charges? Like, what happened? How come he's on the show now? Is he good?
Who?
Our super villain, the man, not the last man on Earth or whatever that guy.
Oh,
Do you wanna?
He Who Remains.
Yeah, he who remains. Did he beat the charges? Like, what's going on here?
Wait,
He was in court.
is that, wait a minute, was that, that's not Jonathan Majors. That's the guy
That
at
is
the end of,
Jonathan Majors. That's what I'm
okay.
saying. Did he beat the charges?
I'm gonna
The guy
say
we
I'm gonna say based on everything he's been going through in his life,
Yes.
outside of Loki, I'm gonna say it wouldn't surprise me if the only thing you saw of him, remnants of him, were the
Mhm.
statues. That's it. Because he's
Okay,
going
but
through a lot.
no, he's in the show. He's actually in the show. I think he's in the next
Wow.
episode.
Okay.
He's in the show. So that's what I'm saying. Did he beat it? Disney was like, screw it, it's not bad enough. Just get out there. Just tough it out. Like, what happened here?
Well, I think okay. So the last the season finale of season 1,
Mhm.
Sylvie basically she killed He Who
Yeah.
Knows. But then Loki is saying now that Sylvie killed He
Yeah,
Who
although he
Knows,
was holding everybody back.
right? And
He's
it's
like the
gonna be
worst of
it's
the
gonna
worst.
be him, but thousands of them, and it's just like this is gonna be crazy. If you remember from
Mhm,
last episode, right from the last season, they only gave
mhm,
us 6 episodes, but yo, like every episode, man, had a really good story and the
mhm.
writing is really good. And now they just hit us off with the second season with this. The writing was really good. There was some slapstick moments in there. This is, I,
Yeah,
I mean, I really like this show, man. This is a really cool show, isn't it?
Hiddleston is a great actor. He's got charisma, and that's things that's lacking in a lot
Hmm.
of shows.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real here.
Yeah, for
And a
real.
lead actor who's got charisma that who's when he's on the screen, he's blinding light. Like,
Hmm.
everyone looks at him, says, "Oh, look at that guy."
Yeah.
Like, that's what's missing in a lot of these shows. They pick people that are blocks of wood and like get out there, save the show. Like, that's not possible.
Yeah.
But Hiddleston, when he's on screen, he draws attention to
He's
him.
serious. Hmm.
So yeah, and it was like that in the Thor movies, and it's like that again in his own show. Which is, when I'm looking at a show, I want the lead actor to be the lead actor of a
Yeah.
show.
I
I want
want
you in the
the,
background, just chilling, folding your arms, doing
yeah.
nothing. Like, let's be the lead actor, right? So let's talk about he comes back. Okay, he comes back. He's going forward, and no, he's going in time. So current day and then past.
Yeah.
He's jumping back and forth because
Time slipping. Hmm.
he's time slipping.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure out how to stop it. So like the show is really about that. So figure out that problem first, and then figuring out the second problem of who's this guy coming, which one of them is coming, and that's the bulk of the show. Now, the good actors and good writers can make a show that's not you didn't deliver anything yet. You just kind of worked out some stuff
Yeah.
and ran around,
Hmm.
and that was the show basically.
Yeah. Hmm.
But everybody has so much goodwill for Hiddleston that they're like, "Well, let's see this out," and then we'll give it an 8.5. That's
Yeah.
To me, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I think that shows you, like, people like his character so much that you don't need to do anything yet, and they're like, "I'll give you a day. I'll give you a couple more shows. You got like 5 shows to figure this thing out. Then we'll see. We'll rate it." Like, I think that's a testament to how good an actor he is. He's got charisma coming out of his bones.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, he does he loves swapping his hair back, he's just like,
Yeah,
"Oh,"
he's like
just
that.
but is that's so true because they can't do any more pruning of the branches because now they realize that that's killing, like, it's an atrocity.
Yeah,
They're
it's
killing all
killing
these
people.
people,
Yeah, you're
right?
killing people.
They also
Yeah.
realize that in the TVA, the Time Variant Authority, that they're
Mm-hmm.
all variants as well. So they could actually be killed. I mean, if one of these branches are pruned. So it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I love the sort of the way everything looks in this show. It's just like it looks so great. I mean, I love the color grading. I love the
Mm-hmm.
sort of the world outside of the offices and everything. This show looks really good. It didn't disappoint the
Yeah.
first season, and now that they started the second season, this show is thus far, and I know it's only one episode, but it's still like
Mm-hmm.
continuing what it did from last season. So that's pretty good too. And you make a very good point. If
Mm-hmm.
you're the star of the show, because we were talking about another show offline,
Yeah.
if you're the star of the show, you should be
Yes.
the star of the show. You shouldn't
Yeah.
the villain shouldn't be the star of the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So,
The focus should be on you and your
right.
story arc and everything else. Like that's the problem with a lot of these shows. Like,
Yeah.
they don't have good lead actors, or the plot's not good. The lead actors is waffling around. This is this is interesting, and every time he's on screen, I'm like, I want go Loki, go! I want to see you win. Like
Yeah.
that's the essence that you get. And it was
Mhm.
the same thing in the movies too. When he did
Yeah.
stuff with Thor, well, Thor is the lead actor, and the movie's about Thor. When he's on screen, you're like, yo, this Loki guy's badass. I like him. Like you
Mhm.
can't help it.
Yeah.
You just focus to him. So, do you want to talk about the actors or characters are in this version of the
Yes.
events here? Okay,
Yes.
go.
Okay, so first of all, let's just like make a point that
Hmm.
last season, Sylvie, who's a little bratty, right? She's a little
Hmm.
bratty because she was just so bent on killing, like he who remains, not understanding that once she kills this
Hey, you're gonna
person,
change the game.
it's going to change. It is war, continuous war,
Hmm.
the whole nine. These like crazy variants are going to come and just start destroying everything. She had
Hmm.
no clue she did it anyway. So fast forward to today, now
Yeah.
they know this, right? Because Loki
Hmm.
has been like, time slipping back and forth. And it's kind of cool how they're like just stringing everything together. And these people, like, for instance, like OB, he was like starting to
Hmm.
realize after a couple seconds what was happening in the future and the past. Wasn't that pretty
I
cool?
like I like Obi. He's a great
Obi,
actor, man. I don't
Obi
understand
was
why he didn't get more work.
wasn't that the guy from
Yeah,
everything? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
That was
Indiana
him.
Jones, the
Right.
same
Uh
guy.
huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So, what do you think about? Okay, so they have Hunter B15 here. She's still rocking. She's still down with the
Mhm.
cause, and she also has morals because she's like, we cannot prune branches anymore because we are killing people. We are committing
Yeah,
atrocities.
yeah, yeah. They start looking at like, oh wait, these are people here. Because I think the way everything's been presented to them, because you're stealing people from different timelines and then put them in a job and be like, this is what it is. Don't worry about it. Don't ask any questions. Don't worry about it.
Hmm.
And so now that that's gone, I think they're starting to realize what they've been doing this entire time and wrecking shop on people's lives. And so she's got morals. So she's an interesting character because now she's got morals
Yeah.
and she cares about what's happening here.
Yeah.
For
And
sure. Yeah,
speaking of hunters, I mean, was Hunter X5? Did he appear in last season?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
So what's
I
his
can't remember.
deal? I mean, he looks like he has a little relationship with the general there, General Docs. What's up with that? What's going on?
I don't know. That's weird, man. That's
She
weird.
should be his mother or
Unless
grandmother.
she's the
Come
one that
on.
pulled him out there and like, hey, get out there. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's something going on. We'll find out later on. But like them two are weird. I'll
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
like that.
What do you think about Morbus? I mean, he's still rocking. I was this came to mind when I was watching it. I was like,
Mhm.
Morbus, man, he has like some really serious morals. He's like a really good guy, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, I like him. Come on, he's a great actor.
Mhm.
He's just a great actor. The Wilson brothers are always awesome, but like he's a great actor. So
Yeah,
I think that his stuff in the show is excellent because he can pull the emotional stuff out of you. Like that's the kind of actor he is. Like he's just good at that. Like
yeah.
when you put him in movies, he's like, you're gonna get that kind of stuff from him.
Mhm.
So I think I like him. He's another person. Like when he's on screen, like everything draws towards him. So
Yeah.
have the two of them together is great.
Mhm.
It's just how no matter how the story could be a filler story, it doesn't matter because these guys you got good actors and
Yeah.
miscellaneous people are okay, but like the two lead actors, Mobius and Loki together, are
Excuse me.
just great on screen.
It's
Just
crazy,
you
man.
just care. Like when at the end of the show when they're he has to go outside, he's gonna pull the layers of skin off him. Like
Hmm.
that whole entire bit of like he's gonna get my skin like that. All that stuff was great.
Hmm.
Like you're like, oh, holy crap, man! I don't want to lose. Like,
Yeah.
but you're just thinking about it, and
It,
it's I don't know. There's something about it that was interesting. I don't know what it is, but I think that's the that's good acting and a good script together. Just it kind of forces you to care because like I cared. I'm like I know it's gonna happen. I know that either if he died, they're gonna replace him with somebody else, and it's gonna be the same version but just different, or he's gonna win. He's gonna get out through the thing, whatever. It's gonna be fine. But I still cared, and like that's the problem with so many shows right now. I don't care.
yeah.
I actually cared about this. I was worried about what's gonna happen to him,
Yeah.
and it's
You
good acting.
That's a good point. Morbius and Loki, that's a really good team, how they're tag teaming, and the other
Yeah.
thing, like I just mentioned before, like the slapstick moments were
Mhm.
not too over the top, like for instance,
He didn't take away from the show. I'll put it
right,
like that.
like for instance, when, Loki was like, when I'm time slipping, does it look bad? And he was like, no, 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 no. And then when they were in the elevator, he was like, it's
Yeah.
horrible. And he was like, I'm sorry, I was lying. Morals, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, so you have these characters, man, they're like,
Mhm.
they're really helping each other out. And it's, man, this is, again, those two characters are really killing it. And then, like you said, you have these
Mhm.
supporting characters. Sylvie will come into the picture. She did come into the picture.
Yeah,
Um,
you saw at the end, and she's
yeah, saw it at the
70s
end,
McDonald's. It's a 60s or 70s
1982
McDonald's.
up in
Oh, 80,
Oklahoma.
80. Yeah, 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 yeah.
1982 in Oklahoma. It was, but you know what? There was like a little Easter
That's
egg because,
the old design. I was alive in the 80s. That was
yeah,
not McDonald's didn't look like that.
no,
That's the 70s design
yeah,
McDonald's.
and it's so weird because they were like, okay, we have chicken nuggets and Big Macs, but then
Mhm.
someone at the table said, they were eating a quarter pounder, which is Burger King. So, it's just
Mhm.
like, so was this
Yeah,
like a
I
hybrid
know.
sort of restaurant, a hybrid fast food restaurant, or whatever,
I don't think they have the rights to say McDonald's. They're just
Mhm.
throwing stuff out there.
Do you think that when Sylvie appeared, she came out of the time door into 1982 Oklahoma? Do you
Mhm.
think that, like, towards the end of that little segment, that little small segment, it looked like she was reminiscing, like almost like this is someplace I
Like she's
know,
been
this is
there.
someplace I've been to? What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It gave that vibe for sure.
Yeah.
So I think this is probably like her past where she came from.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's possible like this could be her timeline or whatever, but it's something interesting about it. And yeah, yeah, I think they're alluding to it. Like the show like this, everything is just a little it's a little clue to a little clue that's another clue to like a refresher course for something else that happened like in comic book in 1980 something. Like that's like everything's like little clues. Like the whole show is just little clues. You can't
Yeah.
help it. Just
Sylvie,
fascinating.
Sylvie may be, I guess we've been doing this podcast for like, almost 2 years. I think
Mhm.
Sylvie may be the only bratty character that I like. She's kind of bratty.
Yeah, she had rough points during this the first season. I was like, I don't like
Yeah.
this chick.
But you
Yeah,
know
I
what? I was
don't.
like, she's kind of bratty, but I'm like, she's got balls. I kind of like her. She's
Mhm.
kind of interesting that, because, I don't get down with like, yelling kids, bratty, characters.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah, I can't
you're
annoying
screwing up the
people or
picture
just rude
here.
people.
You're screwing up the
Yeah,
TV series or whatever.
you gotta be gangster to be rude. Like you have to
Yeah.
be real gangster. Like so, yeah, yeah. She had moments. I'm like, ugh. And this is other moments. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Mhm.
And then she's kind of bratty at the end of season one. So I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know again.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
definitely. The other thing, you were talking about, what Morbus and Loki was,
mhm,
in order to stop the branches from pruning, or just to stop the timeline, right? They
mhm.
both knew what they had to do, but they also knew that they can both die, right? And they decided
Yes.
that we need to do this to save the TVA,
Mhm.
and they
Yeah, yeah.
basically did it, knowing that Morbus skin would peel off and Loki would be
Yeah.
spaghetti. You know what I'm saying? And they were just like, let's do it. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's really cool too. Like you said, that tandem is pretty good. That's a pretty good tandem, man.
I I like heroes doing hero stuff
Yeah.
and succeeding. That's what I
Hmm.
like. I don't know why that's so hard to make a show about that of a hero doing hero things and winning. Like
Yeah.
it seems easy.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me. They were at a couple points in the episode, Morbus was trying to contact Miss Minutes, right? And Loki
Mhm.
was like, no, 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 no. She was actually at the
Mhm.
end of time with He Who Remains, right? And
Yes.
I was like, that is so true, right? I mean, the voice and
Mhm.
everything. So
Yeah.
she was like in season one, she was all over the place. What's her deal? I mean, is she part of like the war?
I
I'm
think
gonna call them
she's
war
part of.
variants. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, but I think she's part of it for
Yeah.
sure. And I think that it's the problem is that you don't know who's good or bad in the TVA yet. So you don't
Right.
know who can stay, who knows. Because I think most people have no idea what's going on. They're just doing their job because that's what they told them to do when they got there.
Hmm.
But I think that there's a couple people who know and they're bad, and you gotta be like a Renslayer. You gotta keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
Hmm.
going on with that.
Hmm.
There's something fishy going on there. I know that.
Yeah. For real. Hmm.
So yeah, like there's the couple people you got to keep an eye on, but I'm not sure who's what. So I mean I'm looking forward to the season for sure. I wanna get to the bottom of this. I would
Yeah.
like to see where this goes.
And it was also brought to our attention that He Who Knows and his crew, they built the
Mhm.
TVA, right? And it's just like,
Yes,
wow, okay.
it's clear he's underneath the TVA.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
clear now.
Yeah.
Especially because when Loki hit that wall and the thing's there,
Yeah.
so he went
Hmm.
he went so far in the past that they didn't notice that. Well,
Hmm.
he saw all the stuff as is,
Yep.
and then when he went to the future, like, oh wait, this painted over. Like what? Like all right,
That was pretty
that's what
interesting,
happened.
man. It's pretty
Yeah.
interesting. Um, let's talk about let me see here. Well, you had okay, so when they were in the war room, you had
Mhm.
General Dox and you also had Gamble. And these old
Mhm.
people.
That
you
guy was
know,
asleep.
he was
That dude
sleep
was
like
asleep during
anything. It
this
was
day.
just like, what's going on? So are they do they run the TVA? I mean, what are they? Who are they?
I don't think they run it.
Hmm.
I don't think that's what's happening here. I think these guys are just they're figureheads. Like
They're in charge. Let's say that. They are in charge.
I think they're middle management. I'll put it
Hmm.
like that. That's what I think they are. They don't have any real power. They get orders. They go tell people what to do, and that's their job. That's what it looks like. I don't,
What
and
do
it
you
doesn't seem like they have any power.
what do you think about the production and this special effects?
I dude, this show they throw money at this show, and
Yeah.
it
Hmm.
shows. Like
Hmm.
it's good. It looks good. It has
Yeah.
this feel. It reminds me of uh Silo.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
it has like a unique feel, and it carries over to everything and everywhere they go,
Yep.
and especially like inside the building. Like it's got this vibe to it that I like, and it's consistent. Doesn't matter what room they go to, like it's consistent.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's good production value right there. Like
Yeah.
it just you can only get that if people have sat down and thought about what they're doing. So like of all the shows on Marvel, like this is the best show because
It really
it
is.
seems like the people who put the show together care. Like, how's this gonna affect Loki and whatever and Thor or whatever? Like, that's what it seems like. They
Yeah.
actually do care, like what's going on in the other shows and movies and stuff like that. Like, they have a plan. Because a
Yeah.
lot of these shows, they had no overlap to anything else. They're just doing stuff and like, here's a little sandbox.
They're
Go to
trying too
town.
hard.
Don't worry about anything else. Like, it's all irrelevant.
you know, the um the writing is so interesting because when you have shows like this and then when they go into the next season, sometimes
Mhm,
that it's always a weird season, right?
mhm,
So to go from like season one with that like finale of season one and then to hit us off with the next season, the first
mhm,
episode, man, the continuation was really smooth. The really cool thing about this show that I really like is the story writing, the storytelling, the writers.
yeah.
Man, they kind of got this. This is like, and MCU is huge, and I'm just getting into MCU, right? But MCU
Yeah,
is
yeah.
huge, right? And you see all that other stuff with MCU. It's just superhero stuff. But you take Loki, and it's meant there is a story. There is like purpose, right? I mean,
There's a couple movies you gotta watch, man.
mhm.
You gotta watch Captain America: Civil War
Okay,
and and Winter Soldier more than Civil War.
okay.
But that's a
You
you
said
have
the
to watch
same
that.
thing last year when we reviewed Loki. You be like, you got to
Yeah,
watch
it's like
this. You know?
there's a couple movies you gotta watch. 'Cause mostly Marvel movies are mostly like just formulaic stuff for kids kind of thing
Yeah.
and to sell products. There's a couple gems in this thing. And out of the 28 movies, wherever the hell it is, 30 movies, there's like 5 of them that you're like, you have to see this. Like you
Really.
gotta get on this now.
So
Yeah.
Winter Storm, and
There's
what's
at
the
least
other
5.
one?
Uh I would say Civil War is interesting
Hmm.
because that's like that's it's got superheroes in it doing superhero stuff, but it's
Hmm.
more like it's more spy thriller kind of thing.
Ah, okay.
And and I'll say this, they lose. They lose
Okay.
bad.
Done.
Yeah.
They're done.
It's a rough one. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a rough one.
And you said Winter
Uh
Storm,
Winter Soldier.
Winter
The
Soldier. Okay.
Civil yeah. And I would say Thor 3, that's worth watching, but more it changed the tone. It made it jokey. Because
Yeah.
Thor was a badass up until Thor 3. They made him soft
They made it
and
goofy.
laughy and stuff like that.
Mm,
Yeah, it's goofy. It's
okay.
still worth watching because important stuff happened, especially with Loki, but it's just kind of like it made it jokey. And I don't like that. It kind of it doesn't sit well with me long term because I know what's going to happen. But like the first time I watched it, I was like, "Oh, this is great." And I watched it
Mhm.
again. I was like, I don't know,
Okay.
but it's worth watching though.
I got some
It's
stuff
worth
to watch
watching.
this weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You gotta watch a couple.
All right, so we are talking about season number 2, episode 1 of Loki
Mhm.
Ouroboros. What are you going to rate this episode?
I give it an 8.5
Hmm.
because I like where it's going. I think there's like some good stuff that's happening, and like the way they put it together is good. Like it's interesting,
Yeah,
and I guess when you make it a show, like it's got you first foot out the gates, got to be interesting. You can't have a boring show. Like it's not Star Wars. You can't have a boring show. Like you need a good show.
yeah. You got
I'm
to
just
hit it.
saying,
You got to hit it on every
you
episode.
got to hit at the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this episode a 9 because of a few things. One, first
Mhm.
and foremost, just the writers, the storytelling. I mean, that's awesome.
Mhm.
And then how the characters come together and the relationship between Morbus and
Mhm.
Loki. That's pretty cool. That's a strong bond right there. And then the third thing is the production and the special effects. This show looks great. This
Yeah,
show
yeah,
looks
yeah.
great, man. It's just like, it's so refreshing. When we were watching Silo, the thing that
Mhm.
really got to me was, one, the storytelling, and two, the production and the special effects. Not a lot of special effects, but the production value. When you have those things
Yeah.
down and you have really good actors, knowing exactly what they have to do, and knowing their
Mhm.
place, you're gonna have a really good show. If all those three things come together. And those three things, they have been coming together with this Loki sort of
Mhm.
series. So I'm really feeling that, man. So I'm giving it a 9. DJ Keo gave it an 8.5. I am giving it a 9. I am looking forward to this. It's only 6 episodes, but hey, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, these guys are busy, man.
Yeah, it's
Everybody's busy
busy.
on this show.
I mean, it's almost 2 years later, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Almost.
it got
Yeah,
pushed back
yeah,
a lot, because Marvel's in trouble, but that's a
yeah.
different topic.
Disney's in trouble, yeah. Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.